evidence that students and taxpayers are getting value for money from the public funding that's going into our higher education system, and that's why we're doing this.
Really feels, doesn't it, very, very political and not very effective when it comes to making a real difference to real money for real people.
I think on the contrary, we really do need to ensure that students and taxpayers get value for money from the significant sums of money that are put into the higher education system. You've got to remember that the taxpayer is accounting for roughly 70% or more of the income of the higher education system. £33 billion of income the university system gets, 70% of which is coming from the taxpayer. It's absolutely fundamental that government, on behalf of students and taxpayers, drives value for money through the system, and it is important that the sector embraces this accountability.
The fee's going to go up next year.
We have already made clear that fees are going up next year. That is the government's policy, that fees will rise with inflation.
And interest rates are going to stay at 6.1%?
We always keep the student finance system under review to ensure it is fair and effective, and the system is delivering on the core outcomes that we have from it. Our universities are better funded than ever. Funding per student per degree is up 25%. We have more students from disadvantaged backgrounds going to university now than ever before.
Joe Johnson, thank you.
It's 12 minutes to 8, time for Thought for the Day, and with us in our studio this morning is Tina Beattie, who's Professor of Catholic Studies at the University of Roehampton. Good morning.
Good morning. I suspect many of us waken each morning with a sense of dread about what the news will bring. Between natural disasters and threats of nuclear war, the world seems darker now than it ever has in my lifetime. This morning, it's the anguish caused by Hurricane Irma.
Very much for that. Coming up to 11 minutes to 8, the news headlines. Several Caribbean islands have been devastated by Hurricane Irma, which is leaving a trail of destruction across the region. 2 days of debate on the EU withdrawal bill begin in the House of Commons at midday. Labour and the SNP say they'll vote against the proposals, arguing that they jeopardise devolution. And the company responsible for towing a rig which ran aground on the Isle of Lewis had no contingency plan for stormy weather, an official report into the accident has found. And on the programme before 8 o'clock, the benefits to business of breaking the mould and offering employees greater flexibility.
Let's get some travel news from Emily Watson.
Gary, Aberdeenshire, the A90 is partially blocked where there was a lorry on fire earlier this morning. This is near the Trump Golf Club and affecting traffic both ways. Traffic is taking its turns to
the natural environment might find space for healing and rejuvenation. Maybe in the end, the only thing we can really destroy is ourselves. Modern Christianity has perpetrated the belief that only humanity matters to God and only humans are saved by Christ. I find that profoundly unbiblical. The Bible repeatedly draws attention to all of creation's capacity to reveal something of the God who creates and sustains it. When Job asks God for an explanation as to why he, an innocent man, has suffered so much, he's commanded to reflect upon the majesty of creation and to see in that the mystery of the Creator. Job is humbled and eventually healed. The suggestion is that suffering takes on a different perspective in the context of a cosmos that far exceeds our capacities for comprehension and control. As the hurricanes and floods of recent weeks remind us, we humans are not masters of the universe, and our powers are limited. Nevertheless, we're increasingly aware that everything is connected and interdependent. Perhaps this calls for reflection on what